Coming up on Fulton Today, the office to get your car tag will be closing for several days this month. Find out when.
For the second time this year, Fulton commissioners and city mayors meet here at the Government Center to discuss transportation and other key items. I'm Brian Robinson, and I have more on this story coming up.
And some local students take their knowledge of the justice system into the courtroom. That and much more starts right now on Fulton Today. Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. We have developing county news to share with you. Fulton County government is mourning the passing of the Dean of the Board of Commissioners. District 6 Commissioner Emma I. Darnell passed away at her Atlanta home on Sunday, May 5th. For over 27 years as a commissioner, she served as a fierce advocate for senior citizens. During her days as a City of Atlanta official in the 70s, she authored the city's first minority business plan. Commissioner Darnell's funeral will be Monday, May 13th at 11 a.m. at Jackson Memorial Church on Fairburn Road. FGTV will have complete coverage of Commissioner Darnell's service. Fulton County Commissioners call a special meeting to talk transit with the mayors of Fulton cities, but that wasn't all that the group discussed. FGTV's Brian Robinson joins us now with more on this story. Brian?
Shania, that's right. A new animal shelter for the county and tax assessments were briefly discussed. However, it was transportation that dominated the conversation.
Mr. Chairman, you have the floor.
Thank you.
This second meeting of the year between commissioners and mayors took a closer look at Fulton's proposed short-term transit master plan. The group originally finalized a plan early last year. That plan mostly dealt with transportation or beautification enhancements. Now the conversation is about transit enhancements.
Certainly, we are excited about this opportunity because what it will do is drive a regional approach to transit, but also people moving. We cannot take a position as our forefathers have done where they didn't do anything, and we can't take the position as to what we saw happen in Gwinnett where the vote didn't go the way we all hoped it would. We've got to be the leaders in this, and I think Fulton County, being the county that it is, will be a leader to make sure that we start the conversation, but also start the process, the positive process of transit, real transit mobility and connectivity, not just in Fulton County, but the entire region.
Fulton's short-term transit master plan includes $1.6 billion in rapid transit projects across the county, $100 million in state funding allocated to Georgia 400, and an assumed $200 million in federal funding.
Most importantly is there will not be a call for a referendum in 2019, but the question of 2020 is still on the table. That's number one. Number two, we're going to explore additional and alternative sources of funding for these projects that we're going to be dealing with going forward. What those alternative sources are or could be are yet to be determined, but rather than or in addition to going to the voters to increase that sales tax, some felt very strongly that it is the right thing to do and the right time to look at options, alternatives to going back to the taxpayer. And I fully support that.
Meanwhile, the county's chief financial officer informed the mayors no certain date could be given as to when assessment notices would be mailed, and Deputy Chief Operating Officer for Public Safety Alton Adams shared details about the county's possible plans of building a new state-of-the-art animal shelter. Now, the commissioners and mayors did not set another time for the next meeting. However, they do hope it happens sooner rather than later. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Brian Robinson.
Thank you, Brian. Our other big story, Fulton's tax commissioner announces vehicle registration and title services will be unavailable during certain times this month. Dr. Arthur Ferdinand is asking county residents with a birthday later this month to renew their car tags by May 20th to avoid any major issues. Now, this request is a result of the Georgia Motor Vehicle Division upgrading its computer system to better serve drivers.
This technology has been about almost 20 years old now, and the world has moved on. Citizens and normal users of computers are used to smartphones and laptops and iPads and all these new ways of communicating with the system. And this system is now going to do exactly that. You're going to be able to communicate and do your transaction for motor vehicles on a system that is familiar to all citizens who have these modern ways of inputting into the system.
During the upgrade, services will be limited at certain times across the state. Kiosk and online renewals will not be available between the dates of May 21st and May 27th. Vehicle registration and title services will be down May 23rd through May 27th. Now, all services are expected to be available again on May 28th. If you want more information, you can log on to georgiadrives.com. And we've got a new important member of the Sheriff's Office to introduce to Fulton County residents. Zach, the K-9, is officially on the job after being sworn in during a ceremony inside the Justice Center Tower. The ceremony doubled as a second birthday party for the Czechoslovakian mix, whose specialties include bomb detection, tracking, and apprehension. He and his trainer trained together for 14 weeks at the K-9 Law Enforcement Officers Training Center in Alabama.
Zach is a apprehension, tracking, and EOD dog. We call it a multi-purpose K-9. Zach demeanor right now, he's 2 years old, so he's just like a child, so he's very playful. But he does get the job done.
It's a great day for the county. We deploy our K-9s to protect the citizens of Fulton County as well as the visitors, and this adds to our manpower to be able to do that job.
Sergeant Underwood also says Zach is a very active and constantly moving who is always on alert. He replaces the retired Duke, who is now living with Sergeant Underwood and her family. The Fulton DA and his team show support for those who fight against sexual violence. As a part of Sexual Assault Awareness Month, members of the office hosted Denim Day. The event celebrated the survivors and advocates in the fight against human trafficking, sexual exploitation, and sexual violence. Outside Assembly Hall, various tables were set up to offer information about topics plaguing local communities.
Actually, it was a process. Don't nothing happen overnight. But the process did, pay off. They helped me with everything like housing, Section 8. They actually did a lot of helping me as far as my situation. And I appreciate everybody that played a role in it.
Today, the DA's office hosted our Denim Day event. We celebrated, honored advocates, victims, and survivors of sexual assault and human trafficking. We also honored Kalandra Smith in her efforts in closing her case out and getting a successful conviction. We thank everyone for participating and coming out and sharing their resources.
Denim Day began over 20 years ago in Italy, following its Supreme Court decision to overturn a rape conviction that involved a case about a pair of jeans. So, was Mrs. Jane Brown robbed by James Sturgis? It's a case that Fulton County fifth graders have argued for a quarter of a century as a part of the district attorney's Legal Lives mock trial competition. Daryl Carver has more on this FGTV favorite story.
But he couldn't have done it. He was at home with me.
The costumes and many fifth graders holding court inside the Fulton County Courthouse can only mean one thing: the 26th annual Legal Lives Youth Program and mock trial competition.
This statement is not evidence in the case.
The case is the state versus James Sturgis, Their goal, take on the roles of victims, attorneys, witnesses, jurors, and judges to argue whether or not James Sturgis robbed Mrs. Jane Brown in the elevator of the building where she lives.
We want to be able to give our kids the exposure they deserve. We believe that they ought to get a chance to see our legal system, to get a chance to speak with our assistant DAs, young children that are interested in possibly becoming lawyers and prosecutors, but we want to give them that little extra push.
Legal Lives is a mentorship program where assistant district attorneys, investigators, victim witness advocates, and administrative assistants team up to volunteer in 5th grade classrooms to teach lessons about law and civics. Fulton's district attorney says this year's version featured the largest number of students and parents participating since he initiated the program in 1993.
We believe that this is a great way to build trust between our criminal justice system and our adult community by showing the adult community that we are people, and of course we make mistakes, but we're trying to do the right thing.
After the verdicts were revealed, everyone gathered in Assembly Hall to hear the district attorney reveal the best overall performances for 2019.
We've been trying so hard for this. The kids have worked very, very hard, and we were determined that we were not going to leave here today without the big trophy. I am so proud of these kids. It feels so amazing.
Win or lose, the students say Legal Lives is an experience they'll always remember.
Well, I think it's really fun how they're making kids actually try to see what it can be to actually be in a court, have this experience. I liked how everyone worked together and we all had fun, and I guess it was just joyful.
To make Legal Lives even more joyful for next year, the DA says he's hoping to expand from 14 schools to 20. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Daryl Carver.
Way to go, kids. We do love that story. And coming up next on Fulton Today, thanking the group that helps to keep Fulton's senior programming afloat. That story next in District by District coverage. Fulton leads the discussion about opportunity zones in the metro area, and the county thanks the group that helps to keep one of the most popular programs up and running. Here's this week's District by District coverage. We begin with Chairman Rob Pitts as he hosts his first Atlanta Opportunity Zone Roundtable. Held at the Georgia Experience Center at Georgia Power, the event gave Metro Atlanta investors, developers, and other interested stakeholders the state of play on Opportunity Zone implementation from Washington. Al Nash from Fulton County's Development Authority weighed in on the afternoon session. The group heard how local stakeholders across the Metro Atlanta Opportunity Zone ecosystem are all developing.
Some 10 million plus people who are really below the poverty line have seen no way up out of their particular circumstances. If this works, it can be revolutionary and a game changer for a lot of people.
Most of all the opportunity zone, not all of them are located within Fulton County, and as our responsibility of working with our 15 cities and municipalities, I think it's great to come and bring the people that are really in the trenches in Washington that are helping to define and to put together the rules and regulations for the federal opportunity zone.
State, regional, and local economic development officials, as well as private sector stakeholders, discussed the best practices for Opportunity Zones investments. The glue that helps to hold one of the county's senior facilities together is celebrated for endless hours of dedicated service. We're talking about the volunteers who give at the Bowden Center in East Point. The recognition came during the special Volunteers Are Important, or the VIP party.
Today we are having our annual Volunteers Appreciation Celebration. We decided to do something a little different this year. Instead of having a traditional luncheon, we had a Volunteers or Our Important People or VIP party. And it was a way to show volunteers how much we appreciate them for their service throughout the year, and a way to just give back to volunteers, to serve them and allow them to have a really good time.
Oh, the Fulton Center has just given me so many challenges and love and advice from the people that's here. They are willing to share their experience with you and not ashamed of doing it. And they declare that they love the Lord. And that's what I like about coming to the Fulton Center.
There are volunteers at all of the county's senior facilities. They help with a myriad of tasks at each center and save the county thousands of dollars in staffing costs. Now you can catch more of your commissioners at work all this week with the rebroadcast of the Board of Commissioners meeting right here on FGTV. And still to come on Fulton Today, a new lease on life for Fulton residents with mental health and substance abuse challenges. Stay with us. A number of Fulton County residents get a second chance after being held accountable for their substance abuse challenges. FGTV's Melissa Lewis explains.
I have a year clean.
It was testimonials like this one at the spring graduation ceremony of the Adult Drug Treatment Court program that had organizers and supporters proud of the commitment and progress made by Fulton County residents who are clients of the program.
Drug court has helped me build up my hope, my strength in God, and gave me the ability to live life on life terms.
Meanwhile, it was another celebration for clients who completed Magistrate Court's Mental Health Court program. The program ultimately serves to reduce recidivism by promoting safe communities and fair outcomes for misdemeanor defendants struggling with mental health issues.
It is a great day in Fulton County. It is a super great day in Fulton County because we had our misdemeanor mental health graduation. For some of our participants, this is a new beginning for them. For those of us who work in this community and live here, it is just a great start to start these young people on a program that allows their records to be cleared, to have a support system that after this program, we have support to follow up with them to make sure that they stay on the road that leads them to a productive and a healthy life.
Clients say the program gave them a new leash on life.
What I seen in my son was he see like there's another world other than the world that he thought only existed, because, like I said, the media puts all this on these younger men like, well, this is who you are, this is what you're supposed to be. Okay, this program broadened that. It showed him a whole complete another world, whereas he can succeed.
The program is a partnership with state and magistrate courts and the county's Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities.
This is the misdemeanor mental health court graduation. This is our 4th graduation, and we will have 23.
And judges say that one of the best measures of success of this program will be if they never see the graduates in this court again. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Melissa Lewis.
And while we are celebrating, we're sharing in the 25th anniversary celebration of Safe Kids of Fulton County. Held at the Union City Gathering Place, Fulton's Safe Kids partners got together to revel in their successes over the years. Safe Kids is a national program with local offices with various jurisdictions whose sole mission is to prevent unintentional injuries with kids.
We are teaching parents how to install or use home safety equipment the correct way.
According to the national office, every year, 100,000 families in the U.S. lose a child because of an unintentional injury, making it the #1 cause of death of kids in the country.
Right here in Fulton County, they have had tremendous success of meeting families where they are, keeping kids safe from preventable injuries with buckling kids up, putting a helmet on kids, just safety measures that can keep every child in this community safe.
Safe Kids Fulton County is a part of the county's Board of Health. To get involved, just visit their website. And still to come on Fulton Today, residents young and old show off some innovative dance moves. We take a look at Dance Week when we come back. Fulton Citizens University students hear firsthand from the man responsible for collecting county taxes. Tax Commissioner Dr. Arthur Ferdinand was the featured speaker during the students' session about the Tax Commissioner's office. Students heard about the 2019 tax billing season and about the services of the office. No question was off limit. The Tax Commissioner says he hopes his class session provides a better understanding of the tax process.
Well, I was just telling Dr. Ferdinand, I'm a CPA, a retired CPA, and I've been in commercial real estate though for years, 40 years in the city of Atlanta. And I understand the city of Atlanta taxes, and I know I didn't understand how the Fulton County collects all of it, City of Atlanta, Fulton County. So tonight was very informative for me, and I followed along with him extremely well because I understand the real property tax issues.
Now I know what to expect on my next tax return, and my house is not just going to go in a lien for somebody else to buy, but I know I can also get it myself, which is rather educational as well. So for those who don't understand, I suggest anybody take this course up, not just this class, but the whole course.
Next week, the students hear from representatives of the Department of Finance and the Tax Assessor's Office. And finally, Fulton's Arts and Culture team invites dance enthusiasts, young and old, to celebrate the art of dancing.
They're all free. They're all free.
The department hosted the 21st annual Dance Week at various locations throughout the county. The theme for the week-long event celebrated innovative dance. The festivities kicked off on the Broad Street Boardwalk, where participants discovered innovative ways to move together. Other events included a salsa class for seniors, a tap dancing class, and modern ballet master classes.
Dance is so important in our community. It's an activity that keeps people alive and well, and we want to encourage everyone and make sure that they are culturally enriched through Fulton County, and we offer a variety of arts and cultural events to help people stay involved in their communities and active and just keep people interested in the arts.
This is my first salsa class, and I must say I've enjoyed it immensely. The teacher is a great teacher, seems to be very patient with us who have never had the class before.
This year's Dance Week culminated with a closing ceremony at the Fox Theater. Actress Jasmine Guy and dance innovator Joel Lane, both Fulton County residents, were honored for their contributions to dance. Congratulations to them both. And before we go, our reminder that FGTV wants to connect with you online. Be sure to follow FGTV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for up-to-date Fulton County news. And you can also watch a replay of this show and any other FGTV program anytime on our YouTube channel, so please subscribe. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. Thank you so much for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.